You sure do. Full of confidence after last week's performance, and Nigel Owens, well-respected referee, in charge of this one.
Truly is an international refereeing panel, isn't it? The man from Wales on one sideline, you've got the Australian and then the Fijian. Yeah, showing that rugby really is a global game. As we now just await.
Stay behind the line as well. Stay behind, please.
Johnny Bailey, the right winger, the Super 7-star. He's one of the best in the world at kickoffs in the 7-a-side game. He'll be used on this occasion, and there you can see the big timber from the USA of Landry and Peterson. 6'8" is Greg Peterson.
Nigel. Hold it, Nigel.
Yeah, plenty of experience in that USA second row, no doubt about that. Peterson in for the injured Nick Savetta. So he'll be looking to stamp his mark and secure some regular game time in that 5 jersey. Well,
30 seconds to go, Nigel.
Greg Peterson, no doubt about that. Well, I guess ultimately, Willie,
hang on, it's 30 seconds.
That's what they'll all be looking to do, given this is Rugby World Cup year 2019.
You stay behind on the chase, okay?
You're good to go, Nigel. You're good to go.
Okay. We can go now. Ready?
Nigel Owens says, let's get it started. And week 2 of the Pacific Nations for 2019 is now underway. Here in Suva, there's that high kickoff that he's known for, but he's put it straight out on the full. Early error, and that's an error that he also had last week.
And also, Willie, an indication of that wind you talked about, the opening. It's blowing, really blowing bottom right to top left of the picture as we look at it. Certainly an influence on that kickoff, but immediately the USA will have an opportunity to spend time in possession of the ball early.
Stability, please.
New front row for Samoa. They need to get into their work immediately here. And Lusky, Hildebrand and Mullen, the front row for the USA.
Keep it height, good. Keep it up.
It's a good first scrum for the American Eagles. They look to attack the left-hand side. The missed pass, and there's some space for Yosefo. The 7-star goes in, out inside the red zone. America immediately on the attack. Quickly, the big boppers arrive.
Hands away, back, go back.
Quick ball again for Dihas.
Front edge, blue offside.
Change the point of attack again to Quill. He only knows one way, does the open side flanker.
Blue offside.
And so Samoa immediately asked to do a lot of defending as Hildebrand gets his first touch of the ball. Dihas again. McGinty throws a pass, and now thought about offloading. Did Lambourne. Better option was to hold on to the ball. No advantage in the first penalty of the game to Team USA. Good start.
Yeah, very good start for the USA from the set piece. A flat shift of the ball to the left created the opportunity on the outside for Martin Yosefo. And immediately into the red zone of Samoa. Look at that good flat passing. It was a flat attack too. And the opportunity for Yosefo. Tried to put the step on. And beat the initial attempt from Asi Tuala. And then from phase play here, they picked up the penalty. Samoa too quick out of the gates. And eventually came to nothing for them, so they'll have the opportunity to open the scoring here.
That man there, James Lake, easy to identify, obviously, with the lovely hairstyle. He was caught offside, and now McGinty, who kicked 3 conversions and 3 penalties 6 days ago, opens the American account.
Yeah, very much picking up where he left off. AJ McGinty, South Sharks Club in England, personal haul of 20 points 7 days ago, adds another 3 to that tally, and let's see now here. really doing this not so long ago and chooses a long option on this occasion.
And it's that reliable foot of McGinty that gives them some lovely territory, but it is Samoa now with possession.
Stay blue, stay blue.
Looking to play the territory game as well.
Stay white.
Game being played in between the two 22s.
Blue, stay.
Tuala. Yosef will take it. Plenty of time. He's gone back and he can't kick it out on the full. With the left foot, and he's overdone it. That is a big mistake from Martin Yosefo.
Yeah, right, smile on his face. Yosefo, but this will give Samoa pretty good field position here. Quick huddle, get their call sorted out. But
Just on the line, on the line.
Lala Lamb is already in waiting the hooker that he'll get the transfer of the call from Jordan Late.
Come in a bit, 3. Okay, good.
They walk into the line out. Toliafoa could be one of the targets. They bring the ball down now, look to drive. You can see the Americans, Quill doesn't look 100%, but now he gets involved in the ruck. Nice maul, really controlled here from the Samoans. Ball out at the back by Lamb, and now they release. Taifu.
Lost now.
Ball is there for Cowley, the man out of Ponsonby in Auckland, New Zealand. Playing at half, goes in, clears it quickly. Lamb. We got it all started with that lovely pinpoint accurate throw. The steal from Landry. Can't get his hands on the ball, and now Alatimu goes into his opposite, McGinty, who makes a nice tackle.
Stay there, 10. Good.
Two brothers combined. Jordan gives it to James. Two low brothers, and now they go a little wider. To Samoa, good defence from the Americans after 6 phases, and now it's Bonatia. Man from the Ospreys club in Wales. 7 phases. Now they look to try and get halfway through the gap, and it's quick ball again. Alatimu throws a nice ball to Leua. Scored 1 last week, and he will get the first for Samoa here in Suva. Beautiful pass from Alatimu, and Samoa respond.
Oh, Alipati Leua. He looked up, he saw the opportunity, he got his line bang on. With stars on the carry.
Oh, thank you.
And then look at that inside ball. No one there defensively for the USA. And Samoa, their first real possession of the ball, and they convert to a 5-pointer.
Is he all right? Some blood. Yeah, okay.
Just dragged them across, didn't he? Really made Lambourne go into 2 minds as to who he needs to take. And Leua, who played in the centres against Tonga last week, now on the left wing for them this week. And they get the maximum with Alatimu adding the conversion. What a player he is. The man out of the Bristol club in the UK.
Sure you get him back behind the hindmost foot when it's a quick ruck, okay? And keep on going if they're retreating. Left or right?
We saw from the line out that something happened to John Quill.
If you can carry on, please.
Oh,
you can carry on. He's been looked
Referee
after.
Nigel Owen say, let's carry on. But I thought he might have headed to the sideline for an HIA, but just strapping up some blood and the game goes on.
Backwards.
Bailey. Johnny Bailey able to just get his hands on it. It's gone backwards and then it's gone forward. And
did you call anything?
they're going to stay with the line out. There he is, the man from the ANA Chiefs.
Inside or outside?
In the local competition in Samoa. Had a terrific season on the HSBC Sevens World Series. One of the best players in the world, no question about his talent. And now looking to try and get to the Rugby World Cup in Japan with the Samoan side.
Come up from the line. Come up from the line, please, Blue. The liner is outside.
Vaitoasa, Senio Toliafoa. There's the money ball. That looked a little high. Referee says no problem at all. Nice run there from Ioane. TJ Ioane standing out in the backs, and now they bring it back to the forwards to cart it through Jordan
He's
Lane.
moved. You're holding that.
Cowley
Look for the penalty. He's moved.
at half will kick.
Take him back.
Yosefo comes up. Holy will have to go and claim it, and now the Americans inside the Fijian, inside the Samoan half rather. He's a big man, is Greg Peterson, 6'8". Some open green grass there, and behind Alatimu is there and gets it. Not much of an angle.
No, looking to make the most of it with the banana kick. Alatimu, but quite hitting it right and end up with the line out inside.
Stop calling for
Ryan
offences.
22.
Alatimu out of the Western Force in Australia. Taufu from Queensland Reds is second 5'8", but it's the Americans in control with the ball. Hildebrand has got it under control. He's come through the middle, says the referee, and so now De Haas has to get the ball. Offloads it to Yosefo, who's come from the left wing. Peterson goes again, the 28-year-old lock. He's isolated. Stowers thought that he had all rights to steal it, but he couldn't. Same way for 4 phases, and now they've lost it forward. Good line speed from the Samoans, really putting some pressure on the American midfield.
Yeah, just not quite as crisp and clean in terms of their shifting of the ball as they'd like to be.
You were perfect in the ball, you were through the middle.
The USA.
Spot on.
Impressed with.
That's good listening, lads. You were on the ball. Once you hit the knee in the
Campbell's the
ground,
player
you
that
let
made
it go.
the
That's good.
error, but impressed with Gregory Peterson. Willie, you highlighted him. Beginning all 6 foot, would you say? 8 of them.
Keep your legs
6'8".
strong, okay?
Stand out
Lads,
in
keep
that
the
sense,
pressure
but
off.
certainly
Please,
standing out in
seconds.
terms of his
Pressure off.
performance. A couple of good line out takes.
Seconds, pressure off. There's a
So
man.
clearly the ability to get round the track and carry the ball.
No leaning in, lads. Keep the balance good, please. Crouch.
Stability, well done. 2, 3, sink.
Bind.
Chance.
Set.
Wingelski, 4 caps. Elusive prop, the 22-year-old
How's it going
out
nowhere?
of the Lindenwood University, puts the pressure on, but the Samoans clear it. Alatimu back to that boot of Tuala, improving the angle for him to try and kick it, but he's kicked it right down to Holy. Will Holy is taken by
Knock on white.
Viley, and there's been a knock on, so the Samoans will get the speed to the scrum. Good kick.
Yeah, good kick, good chase.
Lost on by White in the tackle, lads.
Equals
Thank you.
good pressure. And then Hooley looking to carry back and loses control of the contact. There's a little bit of light rain starting to fall, so I'll give them to Hooley at the moment, Willie. That'll be his excuse, but they say just guilty of a lack of responsibility around possession of the ball at the moment. There you go, 3 handling errors early from the Americans.
That's a mark.
And the Americans' best Pacific Nations result was in 2014, where they finished second that year, tied with Fiji. It was won by Samoa and Japan on that occasion, where they had 6 teams competing. Some years it's been 4. And it's been in existence since 2006. And in the early years of the competition, the Junior All Blacks participated as well. They won the competition in 06, 07, 2009. It was won by the New Zealand Māori in 2008. And then since 2010, it has been all about Samoa, Japan, and of the last 4 years, Fiji.
Charlie,
It's good work, lads. Keep us going, please.
on halfback, just letting everyone know.
Good stability, boys. Well done. Great set.
Plan from
Crouch.
this set piece scrum, looking
Bind.
pretty solid at
Set.
this aspect of the game, the Samoans.
Well, you've given them commentator's curse. It's worked perfectly on time. Beautiful hands there from Lasika, wearing jersey number 12, the New Zealand-born player now representing America in jersey number 12, but they go on the attack again to the Americans. De Haas. Here's the forwards working in pods of 3, the front row together, and now the kick. from De Haas. Bounces inside the 22, and now
Stay blue.
Tuala. Didn't get too much of a purchase, and there's that rain that you were talking about earlier.
Pardon?
They have an impact now on both teams.
Yeah, not a lot of it, but enough just to niggle away, and the ball just fraction more slippery than you'd like it to be. Surface at the moment. Willie
Yeah, but they didn't go down, they went
seems to be
backwards.
holding up.
Hilterbrand finds Landry in the middle of the line out, and they've been effective in this, have the Americans. It worked really well for them against Canada, but not so much here against the Samoans, and someone's collapsed. You could hear it.
You took that down before the ball came away from it.
Swimming, mate. He's also swam down the side of it.
And you swam around the side as well, eh?
Well, he's getting the call from the Australian
Down the side and
referee.
took it down.
Oh, can you penalise him twice?
The ball came away after you took
Two
it down.
mistakes for the newly anointed Samoan skipper. Swimming, haven't heard that phrase before, Willie. Swimming around the side of the maul and then collapsing the maul. That was patently obvious at the end. Have a look at him. He went up to challenge and then but finds himself on the outside of the maul anyway. So this is him swimming. That's what swimming around the side of the maul looks like, Willie. Got to improve his swimming technique if he's going to continue to do that. And there, patently obvious, he drags it down before the ball had been released. So the US head to the corner.
Advantage blue.
Some swimming last week in Apia Park.
Blue still advantage. Stay back.
With the amount of rain that had fallen, and now they try and control it here, do Samoa. Happy to just look for the options as Cowley. Deep in the pocket is Alatimu.
Touch the flight all on. Advantage
Hasn't
over.
found touch.
Touch the flight all on. Advantage over.
Ollie had some players out to the right, and he's gone into the big boppers, into Ioane and Toliafoa. I'm not sure if he's going to want to go down that street again. Lamborn charges ahead, draws in a couple of defenders, and now some running ball for Lasika.
It's lost, lads. It's lost, blue.
Peterson, as he has done on a number of occasions, really a big man, so they bring in a lot of defenders, and now the decoy runners to Hawley. He gets over the advantage line in 7 phases for the Americans. Lasika straightens the line. McGinty, Grubber kicks it through for Yosefo to race ahead, won't get there. Oh, they were just dawdling there. Tuala thought that it was going to go dead before it had. What a lovely kick from McGinty.
Well, yeah, heads up play, Willie. No doubt about that. Stabbed it through, and look, I think they thought they had it covered. But Yosefo, how about the speed to get round Tuala? And the alarm bounds were going there. Dead ball area. Fortunately for the Samoans, not that deep. Yeah,
Behind, boys, please, behind.
National Stadium in Suva.
Well, Martin Yosefo, a Sevens player. He's also contracted, so trains at the Olympic facilities.
Let it cross, please, Mike.
Does Yosefo, along with all the international athletes from America who are preparing themselves for Tokyo 2020 with the Olympics, and another error from the restart. Yep, that pretty much sums up the 2 kickoffs. He's a good player. He's a very good player, but he's just making some unforced errors here and just giving the Americans a little bit more time inside your own red zone, which is never a good sign.
Inside the 22, please get on the line. Move, please. Get inside. Okay, good. Line-up was called.
Big frame of Paolo. You can see him standing at the back for Samoa, but short line out by the Americans here. Immediately it's sacked. They're going to get an advantage as well. The offside, there's the blow of the whistle. Discipline really costing the Samoans here, and I'm sure that's something that Steve Jackson will get his message out to the team.
Yeah, some frustration there from Captain Fa'a.
First you've driven early before they come
So
down, and then you've got to come back around.
So he's got the explanation from Nigel Owens, so that might appease him somewhat.
Early in the line out, let him land.
Yeah, he certainly was involved in the middle of it, and then to re-engage, he's got to come out, go back round, and enter through the gate, Willie. There's a lot to do. So
Discipline, please.
The natural instinct is just to get hands on the ball, and it's exactly what he did. But some more pressure here for the Samoans.
And the Americans opting to go for the line out, not taking the 3 points that McGinty could have kicked, and now they look to try and hold it up. Nice from Samoa. It's taken down White, so it won't be a penalty here. Inside that 22, you can see the ground now starting to cut up just a little bit in the area where there's a lot of feet. Peterson with some assistance.
Keep moving, boys. Keep moving, boys.
Slow ball. So it's easy for the Samoans to set their defensive line and then come on and meet them at the gain line. Driven backwards by Jordan Lay. Now they change the point of attack. Numbers here. McGinty's in. Beautiful run from McGinty, running from right to left. And it was the pace and execution, and Team USA take the lead again.
Well, very well constructed. This one, they were patient through the initial phases, USA. And then the opportunity, look at the players flooding the left side. And always with the advantage, USA. Very good read from the base there from halfback Ruben De Haas. And then McGinty, he had options outside him, didn't need them. And the strike back from the USA.
How many times do we see that, though, where it's slow ball and then it just gets set? It was the pace that he injected himself with, wasn't it? Running from that angle meant that the players were just standing and watching and then started drifting and they couldn't get there in time. "15 points last week. He's already got all 8, make it 10. And so AJ McGinty 10, Samoa 7.
Well, good contest. Promised to beat, proving to beat.
Sit there behind you, okay? You going left? Yeah. Okay. Behind the line and behind you.
McGinty out of the Sales Sharks franchise. Made his debut against Samoa in San Jose in 2015, so. And cap number 23 today for the American first 5, but here comes Samoa. Short ball to James Lay, he's driven backwards from Lasika. That's the 10-metre line that you can see. They work it back to the halfway, and now Polo with a nice carry from the lock. Alatimu, quick hands from Fonatia out to Viley. Steps off the right. Comes back to where the forwards are, and now Samoa right across the park. Ioane has gone and put some headgear on.
You weren't on your feet playing that. White, you weren't. Never on your feet playing that. On your feet, please.
Wingluski, the player penalised.
Off your feet first to play it, and stayed off your feet as well.
I'm not sure either.
Stay on your feet, please.
Cleared the tackled player either.
Overreached.
Well, just to add my 2 cents, Wingluski. Paolo on the charge here. He gets over the top, Wingluski. Paolo tries to clean him out, but I don't think Wingluski ever cleared the tackled player, but certainly not maintaining his own body weight. And so the Samoans have pushed the ball into the corner, so positive intent from both sides
Yeah, on the line.
here at National Stadium in Suva.
And that's Lala Lamb with the headgear on. Apologies. TJ Ioane. They're standing in the back line at the moment, and now they look to go to the back of the line out, but it's gone over the hands of Polo. So many times it's about doing the simple things well, isn't it? Get yourself into a good position, get the money ball, bring it down, and ask some questions.
Well, set piece execution. Really simple as that. Right. Get it right, it's guaranteed ball.
I'll give you time to move. If the scrum doesn't move and I say use it, then it goes, okay?
Quiet at scrum time. I clearly know nothing about them after my last call
Keep the space,
on the Samoans.
No heads and shoulder.
They'll be looking for
Crouch.
good exit play here. Wind at their backs in their favour, the USA. So look to take advantage of that
Hold it there. Hold
here.
it. Keep it up. And use them, please. It's going nowhere.
Dolan controls it at the back. They've got to use it, and so he breaks off the base of the scrum. Gets some valuable metres, does the number 8, the big number 8 and cap number 46. He's 6'6".
Stay back. No, they're fine.
Lovely work there from Ruben De Haas just to move it back with his foot so he can get a bit of space to kick it, and he's kicked it right down to Tuala. Tuala with a short ball to Leua, picked up from Lambourne. Lambourne on the charge now. Leua from the Americans, and here comes the kick from Haas for Josefo. Martin Josefo with the chase. Leua gets back, and he's taken back over the line. This will be a 5-metre scrum, American ball.
Oh, kicking game from the US at the moment, causing the Samoans all sorts of problems.
Okay, time out,
He
lads.
did well to control it. Pati Leua couldn't do anything else, though, under pressure from the chasing pack from the USA.
Okay.
Good work from Tony Lambourne, wasn't it, to get up and put pressure on them. It was Leua that got a dodgy pass from Tuala. They couldn't handle it. Lambourne was there.
Last 10 minutes, keep it like that, okay? Thank you.
And he is a player that's promising in his 20th cap here, Tony Lambourne, from a good part of New Zealand that you know well, Richard Turner.
Well educated in rugby, Willie. It's as simple as that. Spent some time in the Hawke's Bay, Tony Lambourne. Played for the mighty Hawke's Bay team. National provincial representative team out of the Hawke's Bay region. Now playing as trade at international level in the USA, doing a very good job of it, enjoying time. Willie more familiar in the sevens jersey, international level Lambourne, but doing a very good job in the six, and not unfamiliar in that role too. Those that have watched him play
Let's keep this
in
good
New
standard,
Zealand.
and then boys, you second the scrum here. This is the mark here, okay?
Celebrated his 28th birthday here in Suva last Thursday. There he is, the man on screen, number 6 for the Americans, Lambourne. 28 years young.
Bad place to celebrate your, well, any birthday to be fair, Willie. Never mind what the number is.
It really is a beautiful part of the Pacific. In fact, anywhere in the Pacific is delightful.
Bind.
And I know that the Americans are really enjoying their time here as well. Good chance for them to build some combinations, Richard, and you know, that 2 weeks together leading into a Rugby World Cup. I don't know if you can put a price on that.
Oh, invaluable. 100%, Willie. Time together to prep. Clearly they're in the midst of a tournament, but yeah, it'll certainly be 80% focus on the tournament. 20% of what they do will be with a view to Rugby World Cup in Japan come September. So you did right. Great time for the USA squad to build towards the big dance. They've got some options here, Willie.
Set. Hold it there.
Oh, they've also got England, France, Argentina and Tonga in their pools at Rugby World Cup 2019 in Japan. It's controlled by Dolan at the back. He goes off the back. He's big and strong. It's Cam Dolan. Avid golfer fan, loves cooking as well, but he won't like that because he's just turned the ball over. Samoa get the penalty.
Tell you what, I'm not sure he'd be eating for a while either, Willie. He's taken one in the ribs.
You were off your feet playing the ball afterwards.
Dolan, and that's probably what led to him coughing up possession.
Off your feet, White.
Showed his ability out of the boot of the scrum at the last one. So he's always going to be a threat from here. Got over the gain line, did a great job in that respect. Dolan, and then there his opposite got his hands on the ball, fell, and then there you see him get up. He's a little tickle to the ribs.
Grew up on a ranch. Richard, he'll be fine.
Oh. He's probably taken worse to the ribs then, Willie.
Exactly.
Hey.
They build them tough. In America, he won't be coming off. I can tell you that. There he is, back in play, back in the line-out.
He's one of those blokes that looks like he just goes, I've got a few more of them, don't worry about the one that's broken.
Keep him in the middle, please. Keep him in the middle. Okay, Ash, lads, time out. Time out. Keep the gap, don't move. Get on the line. Now, stay with the touch judge. Don't move, wait. Stay with him. Devita, stay with him. Stay with him. Don't get behind him, stay on the mark. Stay there. Good.
Strong commands from the Welsh referee. Nigel Owens didn't look too straight. But Samoa have possession. There was a hole there. Ioane goes back, but it's Tuala that gets up to the ball first and now looks to try and create more space for Leua. Hasn't seen too much play go his way, even though he's come looking for some work to score that try. Alapati Leua. Samoa again inside their own half. It's Cowley. Gets it out to Polo. Does a good job to hit and spin to the lock. They're going backwards though, Samoa. And now it's Lay. Short ball on the inside. No one was really expecting it. And it's gone backwards. Taliafoa tidies it up. Cowley will have to kick from here. Coming in from the fullback position is Holy. Then Lua with the nice tackle. Ball is there on the side for the Americans. Hildebrand runs across the field, crabs across, and now De Haas is caught. He's played the ball on the ground as well, which should be a penalty here to Samoa.
Vantage penalty, Blue, if you want.
So they've got the right of the penalty. He can't play the ball on the ground, De Haas.
Number 9,
penalty Cowley.
Second penalty.
He was so close to making something out of that.
How do you want it to? What are you going to kick?
Options here for Samoa.
That's the second one.
Ruben De Haas in his 13th cap, scored a try last week, coming in off the bench against Canada.
Discipline out, lads, please, both sides.
Out of the Free State Cheetahs and South Africa, and gets a start here, but he's made a mistake and he's allowed Samoa some easy meters.
See the turnover here.
Was the last throw in straight?
Comes round. There's De Haas and then here, and his desperation to make amends.
So if it's not straight, give me a call, okay?
Fins does a little halfback.
Silala Lamb goes to the back of the line out. Ioane has it and breaks free. Short pass from Cowley to Taifu. Good leg drive from the second 5'8", who's brought down by Mullen. Juggled and just controlled, and now they put it back to Alatimu. See some green grass down by where Yosefo is. Bailey, these two have come up against each other plenty of times on the 7th circuit, but they give it inside to McGinty, and that's a nice touch finder. Just skimmed the grass before it went out. He is some player, the 29-year-old, born in Dublin, and he's having a very good game here in the 30 minutes for Team USA.
Last one was good.
He certainly is. Really driving his troops around the track, making good decisions from phase play. McGinty, and when he's required to, getting some good purchase on his clearing kicks as well.
Good.
Tough up front. It's been a demanding battle between the forwards, and that's not straight. Been really impressed with this American defence, which is their line speed, but also their ability to make tackles. They're not falling off too many of them, and I think it's frustrating the big Samoans.
Bring it in a bit, please, okay?
Yeah, no doubt about that, Willie. They're also enjoying some good time and possession of the ball, and obviously the flip side to that is Samoa not so much, and so therefore when they've got it now, or when they're getting it now, Samoa seem to just be in maybe a little bit too much of a hurry, so trying to push the patience button, boys, and spend some quality time and possession of the ball, but it will be the USA from the set piece, and we've seen
the scrum, so keep it, please. Crouch.
Dolan out of the back of the scrum a couple of times. What are their options here? A bit of a short side if they want to use it. They've got a good scrum platform to work off. Martin Yosefo parked him.
Just a slip from both sides.
Shotgun immediately behind the scrum, so he's given himself an option to go left or right.
Keep the shoulder up, please.
That's a telling stat. Well, almost 4 minutes inside enemy territory for the USA.
Give it straight then.
Red zone, they call it. That's
No
inside
heads
the
and
22.
shoulder, please.
Yeah, we've got a terrific group of
Crouch.
people with stats and the graphics,
Bind.
keeping you informed with everything that's happening in this first 31 and a half minutes here in Suva. And
Lads,
Nigel Owens is going to chat again.
That's a real light call.
lads, go again. Lads, if heads are touching shoulders, I will deal with it. If I see somebody coming back up when they don't need to, I may be free kicking it. Is that clear? Stay down, please.
I'm not too similar to my kids at home, Willie. Who's done wrong? Well, it was him. No, it wasn't. It was her.
I'll decide.
Hey, and yeah, there's Dad in the black jersey, being Nigel Owens, said, well, I'll decide if you guys can't sort it out.
Good white, boys. Great stability.
Well, he is the #1 referee in the world for a reason. His communication skills are outstanding. His appreciation of the game is at the next level. And he just has such a great command and respect of the players. And now he's saying that, James Lay, it is you.
Yeah, I don't think he'll worry too much about it. More, he lost his footing, yeah, saying, I don't think there was anything wrong with my technique, was it? Ref, and have a look, he comes under a bit of pressure, then just goes to make that adjustment. Well, he took the foot off the ground and too much pressure in there to do it on one foot, and down they go. So good call from referee Owens.
What about that kick from McGinty? Perfect position now. They're 6 metres out just before the break. This is what they did to Canada 6 days ago. They got inside that 22 and they pretty much had a mortgage on it. You've been in housing, you'd appreciate those terms, Richard.
Stay back.
You know what, they're benefiting from the skyscraper in the middle of that line out though, Willie.
Peterson's not bad, is he?
He's going good for them.
DeHaas thought about trying to get it out of the hands of a shark, basically, when the forwards have got the ball. You don't put your hands in there, little #9, until they go to ground. Now DeHaas organises them all out to the right-hand side. They give it to Landry. He goes into the contact. Help from Lasika. Then they go a little wider to Peterson. Lambourne, next cab off the rank. Good tackle coming on from James Lay. Lamb is there to bring them to ground. It's a turnover, but someone needs to stay on their feet and someone needs to roll away.
And you, off your feet, play the ball afterwards.
He doesn't give you any doubt about his rulings. I was just thinking that, Willie. You know exactly what you've done wrong, don't you? With Nigel on, and he's going to have a chat here.
Yes, we are.
Oh no, he's going to let him do it up his boots. It's a call here for the Americans here. Willie, scrum's an option, obviously, but McGinty ball in hand, looking like they'll kick to the side and look to execute from the line out again.
We're not going to carry on with those silly penalties. I have the tackler too slow moving, preventing the clear out, and then your guy comes off the feet and he plays the ball back afterwards.
Do you mind if I talk to the boys?
No, you talk to the boys and I'll wait until you've done it. Because if I have something more cynical down here, or I feel it's cynical, it's going to be 10 minutes, okay? So speak to them and I'll wait.
That's great. That is what you want from a referee.
Wait, they're speaking.
You sort it out or I will.
Yeah, it's always been his greatest strength. We know how good he is as a referee, but his ability or his rapport, Willie, with the players is his greatest strength, in my opinion.
Yeah, the first man is the tackler. He's
Nigel
got to move.
always
He prevented a clear out. Wait,
very
I'll put time
clear
on
in
when
his
you're ready.
explanations.
Bend the line, please. Time on.
He leaves you no doubt that the decision he's making is the right one.
Well, they've been warned, and so now pressure comes on, because if they collapse or give way to anything cynical, according to the Welsh referee, someone's going to the bin for 10 minutes, and now to be Peterson, who lifts Landry on this occasion. They bring him down. His own men didn't have, that's good play too. It was his own men that let him down there, Landry. They needed to hold on to him. The dummy. Quill gets an extra metre or two now. They pick and go. Wingleski. Now it's Landry who won the ball from the line out. They're just a metre short. The American Eagles.
Behind.
forwards will take control. It's Quill, and he asks Dolan to get on his backside and get close to him.
Away now, two, move two.
Now they're a metre short. They've got to get onside Samoa. 6 phases. They've gone 3 metres.
Hughes.
They go a little wider. Nice tackle coming in from Faselele. Again, it's that man, Wigleski. They've got it. They have Samoa. The turnover from the loose head prop who went into the contact. He didn't turn his body enough to get the ball back, and Samoa get out of jail.
Oh, they do. Frustration for the USA, though, Willie. They were building momentum nicely there. Yeah, they weren't going very far, but they had good control of possession, and then Wigleski not able to finish it off for them. But still in good position.
Peterson can't get it. Now it goes to Viley. This is where Samoa are so dangerous from the breakout and the opportunity. Yosefo comes across from the left wing. Now he looks to try and straighten it. He's lost it, Lasika. Samira's now starting to come into the American game that we haven't seen in the opening 37 minutes. Yowani gives it to Tofa. He throws it out to Tuala. He straightens and looks for Leua out to his left.
Away, White.
Cowley secures it, Alatimu, and now some decoy players. The big skip pass. Toliafoa gets it out to Faselele. Good run from the captain. Now they're just outside the 22. Alatimu with another wide pass. Real razzle-dazzle here from the Samoans. Tuala to Fonatia. He's lost it. And they were all across the park. There was going to be some tired bodies here.
Look at them. A lot of hands on hips, Willie. No doubt about that.
2 minutes.
Lots of movement here from both sides. But again, both sides guilty of coughing up possession. Fonatia on that occasion for Samoa. And no doubt, as we close in on half-time here, Willie, that will feature high on the half-time workouts, work-ons for both sides, respective coaches.
If it's slow, we've got time to push them back.
Discussion here, possession, look at that. Huge advantage there to the Americans, and on that basis, Willie, territory the same. I guess if Samoans will go and look at the scoreboard and go, we're going all right here, they will have the advantage of a win that tends to come and go a little bit, but when it comes, it's reasonable.
Stay on the hooker, and then
if they can take advantage of that, play the game in the right part of the field, to be fair to the USA, they've done that. They just haven't managed to convert probably the required amount of points.
Geez, you're right. Samoans have had they've had crumbs. They've basically lived off 1/3 of the territory and possession, and they're only behind by 3. Very similar to them last week in Apia Park, where it was Tonga that dominated, and then they came out as a different side in the second half. And see what Steve Jackson might say, but the Americans should really be up by more. They turned down a couple of opportunities to kick penalties by going forward the line out, thinking they could get the maximum. Speaking of Rugby World Cup, Samoa have Ireland, Scotland, Japan and Russia in their pool. They've won the Pacific Nations Cup in 2010, 12 and 14. Can't wait for the Rugby World Cup.
Middle. Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold it there. Keep it up, lads. Bind up. Leg strong. Eels. You're going nowhere, so eels.
Minute and a half before the break, and now McGinty says, let's play some territory. Gets it over the head of Viley. Really has read the game beautifully here. The Sail Shark first 5.
Watch it.
Just 29 years old. He looks just so mature for such a young man.
Sorry, man, I called that a bit quick. I'll give you time with the scrum. Sorry, man, I called it a bit too quick. My fault. Sorry, I called it a bit too quick on the scrum. I'll give you time, okay? Sorry.
He's apologising.
Please. Okay, he's gone.
A couple in a row now for
Scrum on anyone.
Samoa. See Lala Lamb is coming out of his hand on an angle, then the wind's picking it up. So
Get it in, boys.
look at this. Straight out of the hand, and then it gets to the 5 metre line, wind picks it up.
Mark here. Huh? Do you want to come out of the bit, boys? Yes, a bit. Okay. Straighten up a bit, right? Okay. Okay, lads.
They'll have the opportunity here.
Yes, last play now, boys.
USA, there it is, the call from Nigel Allen's last play. So what will they conjure up? USA. The Huss has a quick chat to AJ McGinty. Says this is what we'll have a go at doing.
Okay, that's it. Good man. Okay, that's good. That's fine. Crouch. Hold it.
Come on, boys, get your shit together.
Yeah, come on, boys.
47-19 last week.
Seconds, you need a...
The Americans with a really good victory. The travel factor, the new country, the diet obviously changes a little bit here in Fiji to what they may have been eating, but there's no question that this is a team that means business in 2019, and they will be a threat at the World Cup. They will certainly push teams like England, France, Argentina and Tonga. Good spread of ages as well. The youngest in the team being 24-year-old Campbell in the midfield. The oldest is Blaine Scully, the 31-year-old captain. On the right wing, haven't heard his name too much as well, Scully. Good opportunity to try and get the ball out to his wing on this occasion. They use Lasika as the first battering ram. Again, it's Landry in his 20th cap for his country. Hildebrand. Peterson gets ball and defender at the same time. Nothing really happening here for the Americans, and so McGinty runs across and gives it off to Holly Exitiosefo. Viley's made a play at it with his boot. Now he scoops it up. That was by the boots, surely.
Oh, this is a big call. He's going to go and finish it off.
What did you call? You kicked it forward? Yes. Okay. No.
What's he going to do here?
Well, I think he's misinterpreted the call from his AR here. There's no doubt about it. It's come off the foot, so no issues there. And I think the AR said he's kicked it forward, misinterpreted as gone forward. Yeah, so that's exactly the explanation. So unfortunate for Samoa. There's no doubt about it. Can't do anything about it though.
No. He came in and said off the feet. I thought he said knock on, so I blew the whistle. It's going to be a scrum. It's going to be blue ball because it was off the feet, not off the thing. Scrum here. No, scrum. I blew the whistle. Here we go. Right, scrum, last one.
You can see that he's spot on with your assessment, Richard, and that's heartbreak for the Samoans, but that happens in sport as well. And so you just move on.
Stay there, lads, stay there.
James Lay is giving the assistant referee the death stare. That's not going to help his cause.
We'll get one final opportunity.
Shoulders out, please, lads. Shoulders out.
Closing in on 3 minutes. Extra time here, first 40. Good contest, no doubt about that.
Set. Hold it there.
Samoa will look to try and get an ascendancy here, but there's a big scrum from the Americans. Lambourne brings down the Samoan captain close to the sideline. They quickly clear the ruck. Cowley gets in, gets it back, and they'll kick it out here. Alatemu says, we've done enough, fellas. We've had scraps, and we're still in this game. We only trail by 3. And as they head to Oranges and the break, it is Team USA 10, Samoa 7. Well, welcome back to our coverage of the Pacific Nations for 2019. Some of the fans getting to see themselves on the big screen here at this wonderful stadium, and conditions have changed a little bit, Richard, but we expected that. But it's been a real good arm wrestle between these two sides. They're unbeaten in the competition thus far.
Yeah, it has been, was always promised to be a good contest. It's turning into that, or it has been that certainly through the first 40-odd minutes, and there's, you can see the most breeze here has been the most telling influence in the first half. Favoured the USA, and I guess we talked about it through the first 40 minutes that Samoa will go into the halftime break and be, I think, pretty happy with their work in the fact that they're only 3 points behind, and they will turn with the advantage of a reasonable breeze when it gets going. First 40 minutes here look patently obvious there. USA dominant territory, dominant possession, and reflected in time in opposition 22. So they'll look back on that first half and say, yep, we played well, but we probably didn't get enough points out of the first 40 minutes. So looking to lift their effort and make amends for that. Samoa, conversely, will want to apply the same tactics as USA did through the tutorship of their first five. AJ McGinty did a good job for the USA, steering them around the paddock, and Samoa will be looking to that in an example, with the key being that if they can improve the territory and the possession stats, then they need to convert that into the points that the USA failed to do.
Only 10 handling errors in a 40-minute game, which was really bruising. As we mentioned, a real arm wrestle between these two sides, and we saw that only 8 penalties. Once again, showing the class of Nigel Owens, allowing the players to play the game, and this is where they started. A lovely first run down the side from Josefo. This was right from the kickoff where the ball went out on the full. So the Americans had all the ascendancy, they had all the dominance and possession and territory, as you mentioned here. But it was the Samoans that struck first.
Yeah, it was. Look at this nice little inside ball, and a lovely, lovely line from Alapati Leua. And the Samoans at that stage were full of running. He recycled the ball nicely, and he came from depth and saw the opportunity, saw the space. Leua, the Americans there. Such a good player. McGinty through that first 40 minutes. There was the opportunity that went close for Josefo, and then they shift to the right, and it's McGinty again that sees the opportunity. They flooded that left-hand side and always had big numbers there, always had the advantage, the USA. And McGinty didn't need the player outside him and picked up the USA's first half try.
And then there was a little bit of controversy as well towards the end of the game with the boot of the number 14 here, Bailey. He puts his boot out, that should be play on, but the referee thought that his assistant referee had said it was knocked on. It wasn't. They came back and played the scrum. And how big a part will that play in the game?
40 minutes. I'd like to think that after 80, it's certainly not something we look back and reflect on, having unduly influenced the outcome of the game.
Well, it is warm conditions here, even though there is a breeze blowing across the field, as you'll be watching it from wherever you're watching throughout the Pacific or around the world. It's great to have you with us for the Pacific Nations of 2019. The second half is moments away. Windy conditions here in the capital of Fiji. It is Suva, where the American Eagles are flying high after the first 40 minutes, leading Samoa by 10 points to 7. It is round 2 of the Pacific Nations Cup for 2019, a competition that started 13 years ago with different personnel. They've had the junior All Blacks from New Zealand, the Māori All Blacks. Georgia got involved last year in the Pacific Nations, as has the Australian emerging players, alongside obviously Tonga, Samoa and Fiji. And it is Team USA after a good win against Canada last week, 47-19, who are now leading 10-7. Put your coaching hat on, former All Black Richard Turner. What does Steve Jackson say to his troops?
Oh, I think he just says, look, we're going to turn. We've done we're hard. We've spent most of that first 40 minutes defending. We've been playing against the elements. Let's turn. Let's take advantage of those. Let's play field position. Let's get our hands on the ball. Let's be patient. And when the opportunity comes, let's make sure we convert into points. And Willie, I think that'll be, if it's an opportunity to take 3 from the tee, you take that. and then they look to just roll themselves, as they did very much against Tonga last week, Willie. They really were strong in that second 40 minutes, and you talked about and alluded to the fact that the American side have had to travel, so they might be a little leg weary. So the Samoans also, if I'm the coach, I'm talking about that. So maybe playing the game at pace when you get the opportunity, and just trying to see if they can take advantage of that.
I was going to say, Gary Gold has done an incredible job with this American side. They come here with a lot of confidence after that good win last week, but for them, I'd imagine that they just want to keep playing, and it's going to be a different tactic for them, isn't it, playing into this breeze?
Yeah, well, they look to shift whenever they had the opportunity. USA, often they weren't clean and precise and accurate with their catch-pass game, so no doubt he's mentioned that, but if they do get the opportunity, we see often, Willie, it is easier to shift the ball when you're playing into the breeze. So they'll look to make sure that they take advantage of that, the USA. They've shown their ability to attack. They've got a very good set piece to operate off, so they've also got the lead. So it's the Samoans that are chasing, so for the USA, it'll just be keeping their heads.
Well, he's made an immediate change here, Steve Jackson, to their personnel, because big Afeasititi Amosa, who scored an amazing try against Tonga last week, he's come in, the man from the Bordeaux, and he's come in wearing jersey number 20, so they've gone back to the big hard-running number 8. Americans look like they've sent the same 15 out. And the man who has scored all of the American points, AJ McGinty, born in Dublin, in his 23rd cap. There is Johnny Viley. Samoa, the champions in 2010, 12 and 14. The Americans' best finish was a second placing in 2014. They have never won the tournament, America.
When you're ready, mate. Okay. Okay? Ready?
40 minutes to determine who will stay unbeaten in the Pacific Nations for 2019. The long kick from McGinty is down deep inside the 22 of Samoa. Carly works the ball out with his foot.
Hughes! It's fine.
Paulie comes forward to claim it. He looks to return it. A little bit of interest. The bounce is tricky for Alatimu. He's going to have to pick it up. May have thought about kicking it, but he's going to have to try and hold on to it now, just outside his own 22. Cowley goes in and clears it out to the forwards. The short ball is lost forward, and now an advantage here for the Americans, but they were offside.
Number 7, yeah?
Yes, number 7.
7 white
John
offside.
Quill,
That's a
up
touch
inside
call. Number 7
flanker.
white offside.
Oh, the call came from the far side too. Samoa, first opportunity to use the conditions. They do a very good job.
Showing that advantage of the breeze there with AJ Alatimu out of the Western Force team in Perth.
Let's just throw in Murph, okay? Good. Stay.
So Samoa get the job done. The first part is done. Now it's Lamb. They've come through the middle. Has Quill right through the middle. They try and take him out of there. Referee says he's got to get out of there now. Clearly on the wrong side. He gets a little bit of assistance from Toliafoa. Nice work from the Samoans. This is good play. Energy zapping. They split. Now the ball is there. Cowley. Alatimu, some running ball into the contact of McGinty. Alatimu gives it back to Ioane. No way through this American wall. Strong defense again from the Americans. Quick hands out to Viley. The chip and chase from Viley. The bounce all important. Scully did really well to control it initially, and then it was Campbell who had a second look at it.
As you went up the ball's in front of the player. Knock on.
The Samoans looking good early in the second half.
He's certainly come out with a bit of vigour. Real sense of urgency about them. Chip's a good one because it goes to grass, bounces awkwardly, and that was where the knock-on came.
Yeah.
Johnny Bailey doing a good job to keep the pressure on.
There is young Ruben Tihas, and you may have seen number 20 on for Samoa as well, so Molsa is definitely on the park. There he is, put himself in the boot of the scrum. He made a massive run last week against Tonga at the start of the game where he went 40 metres. I'd say go to work again. I'd let him loose.
Well, depending on where the scrum ends up angle-wise, there's a big old blindside, but they don't want it.
Alatimu runs across and now offloads. Good pass out to Tuala. Lost his footing before he got into the contact, and now they drive him towards the sideline.
No tackle back.
Well, Scully with the headband on, the American captain there is Amosa. Cowley now into the hands of Taliafoa. Just 10 out, the Samoans, the dummy, but nobody took it now. He's isolated. Could be a turnover. No, referee says Ioane is all right, and he plays out. Pinkelman makes a tackle, wearing jersey 20 for the Americans. Another one from the American Sevens team, making his debut. And now the turnover is good. Tihas looked and thought about kicking. Now he puts the skates on and kicks the ball deep down inside the Samoan half. Viley will get back first, picks it up. Big defence in front of him. McGinty makes the tackle, he's isolated. They're going to get the penalty here, the Americans. Great heads-up play from Ruben Tihas.
Oh, a couple of good plays from the Americans then. The Huss gets the congratulations of his teammates, and also at the breakdown, Samoans choosing to bring the ball back or carry the ball back there in the contact. And over the top, secures the ball. That's great work, Ruben Tihas. And look, he celebrates too. Why wouldn't you? That's a big play.
They kick for the line out here. Now they're right out from the Samoan line.
Blue, step in, please, boys.
Just like the maturity of this American side, there is the big frame of Greg Peterson, 6'8". Almost as big as some of the buildings here in Suva. Used as a lifter to Landry.
Stay 10.
Samoans compete and get it. Cowley gives it off to Lamb. He wasn't going to kick it. Was the hooker. So an error from the Americans gives Samoa the ball. Cowley will get it back to Alatimu in the boot. Straight behind the ruck, and he clears play.
Blue 9 and 10.
How good is that to see a team competing in the line-out?
Timeout, Blue 9.
Subs here. 21, 22, 23 for Samoa, 21.
9, 10 and 14.
Faliali'i,
9, 10 and 14.
Reynold Lilo, jersey 22, and JJ Tuolangi,
Time is out.
jersey 23.
5 minutes. 5.
Ovasa Faliali'i
Yeah, let subs go
will
off.
move into the halfback
Okay,
role.
thank you.
Cowley's day's done.
10, boys. Time on.
Now they've seen enough of Johnny Viley to say that we need to get some experience out there as the Americans go into the ruck through Lasika. Pinkelman, he won't stop running until the sun goes down. Ben Pinkelman, they loop around Tihas, spots a gap, flicks the ball over the top to Hildebrand. Inside the red zone are the Americans, and now the Samoans called on to do some defending. 4 phases, they've crabbed along the field, they've gone one way and then the other. Lamb puts on a nice shot. Good defensive play from the Samoan hooker. McGinty goes a little wider to Campbell, puts out the big fend. Fonatia brings him to the ground. De Haas to Hilterbrand. He's been good today. Boy, he's rolled up his sleeves as the hooker for the Americans. McGinty gives it off to Landry. Amosa makes the tackle.
Yeah, lost on here now. You want in control of the ball. Lost on.
Landry's lost it.
Lost on.
Oh, he doesn't miss anything.
Time out.
Referee Nigel Lyons there. Ben Landry to his feet. Not happy, didn't think there was much in it. There he is in the contact. Big hit from the replacement player. They're working hard. There's no mistaking that. Both the USA locks Willie Landry and Peterson play their trade, and England. Landry for the Ealing Trailfinders. Peterson level up and with the Newcastle Falcons.
Both of them made their debuts, the two locks. Landry made his debut against Canada in 2016. Also spent a bit of time with the Seattle Seahawks in the training camp for the NFL. Samoans are under pressure. Amosa should take it and go here. Big and strong, gets rid of Pinkelman initially. Valuable meters again. Good run from the number 8. Faliali'i gets it back into the pocket. It's charged down. Quickly they get back. Taulagi is the man, and now he steps. This is nice play from the man that's just come onto the field, now moved into the fullback position. JJ Taulagi.
White is gone.
Faliali'i.
That's inside, lads. You were on the line.
Gives it to Lay.
Stay out.
Jordan Lay sets it closer to the 22. They can kick it out on the full here without too many problems. Nice purchase.
Inside. No, he was inside. He's inside.
Charge down looked dangerous initially.
After that again.
Oh, it was. Peterson. He's the player on the charge down. He's doing everything. A lot forward. And there's a replacement player for Nick Savetta. Injured in the Canadian encounter. And doing a very good job of making sure he stays there.
They win the ball at the line out, and then the box kick from the halfback goes straight up. They chase. Scully puts them all onside, and they've lost it forward. Landry, long way to bend down.
Okay, no advantage.
Go down 6'6", and he's lost it cold.
Blue number 2.
Samoa number 2 substitution.
So, Suala Lamb will head to the sideline. Elia in jersey 16 will be his replacement. Experienced professional footballer Elia.
Number. Okay.
Now he's out of the Harlequins club in the UK. You can see the changes there with Lilo coming into the pivotal first 5 position. Stowers gets a low 5 from Jordan Lay.
That's good. Have you? Honestly. Have you come forward to meet her? Okay, that is good.
There's some play. You can see them having a conversation there.
Them, please, okay?
Hilterbrand saying that the Samoan hooker had come forward and meet him.
No, fair stuff. Now that's a relationship again, coming back to Nigel Lyons. Asked them the question, they gave him an honest answer.
Shoulders out.
I've got to say, it doesn't happen often.
No.
In a game of rugby. A player giving a referee an honest answer.
Bind. Set. Hold it there.
Amosa. Paxson goes again. Pinkelman hangs on just. Lambourne almost gets the turnover, but he can't. Faliali'i gets it out to Lilo. In fact, that's Taifu. Amosa again. Lay back to Fonatia. He gives a nice pass out in front of Leua. Short ball to Fonatia, but he's dropped it cold. Referee says it's gone backwards, and then he says it's an American player.
And then lost on by White on the floor.
Has forced it forward. You don't agree?
Well, no, I don't. I do agree.
Lost on with White on the floor.
Just sympathising with the Americans. They're not having a lot of luck at the moment.
Time out, lads.
Here's the mistake. The short ball gone backwards. No problem with that. And then there's 2-on-1. A little bit of urgency there. And well, they just get a little bit tangled up. Pinkelman, he's had a heck of an introduction on debut. Jersey 24, the Americans.
Well, he will be going to the Olympics in 2020. Is a big part of their program as Ben Pinkelman, along with Martin Yosefo, and they've still got Madison Hughes,
in the scrum,
who is their Sevens captain.
To be honest, I'm not sure, because I was watching you picking the ball up and I don't know what happened afterwards.
Of course, players like Perry Baker and Carla Niles. Can you imagine if they were introduced into the 15-a-side game, but now just specialising in sevens. There is Madison Hughes, you can see the smaller players, and he just plays with so much maturity and so much enthusiasm. It's easy to see why
There you go, boys.
sevens is the fastest growing game in the world. And if the Americans actually do
Come back a little
wake
bit there,
up
okay?
to it, Richard Turner, and embrace it completely, can you imagine the type of athletes and the teams that they could produce?
Oh, yeah, already reflected in their success in
Yeah, when you're ready, boys, we'll go then.
the World Series, isn't it, Willie? The improvement in the sevens games. It's become Olympic sport, so their Olympic program fairly healthily resourced. So they tap into that. And you're right. America, a country, big country, full of people.
Crouch.
By virtue of simply numbers, so many good athletes floating around. There's no doubt about that.
Stability, keep it up, lads. Keep it up, you two.
Faleali'i with the feed.
Keep it up, it's good.
Good quick hook to the feet of Amosa, and now they attack down the left-hand side. Here is Lilo. Faleali'i gives it, now they use Amosa. The pass infield from Taliafoa. Turnover is good, and now the Americans have it. Haas. He's hassled, but he still holds on to it. He's got possession still. Hasn't lost control of the ball. And now Will Holley has come up from fullback to play half. Everyone's getting involved. That's Campbell with the carry. The centre.
Okay, on news.
Haas will kick. Leua can't get past McGinty. What a terrific defender this first five for America is. Hasn't missed too many tackles, and now at field position, using the elements. Holly has got back, so has De Haas, who was there alongside him. Outside is 22. Henry Taufu, that's a nice kick too, well judged. Beautifully executed.
Yeah, that's better in terms of approach from Samoa. Talked about taking advantage of the favourable condition, playing with the wind at their back. Now Samoa, so they'll make the most of that. Of course, the USA, if they're going to play the ball and hand game, that they force them to play it from deep within their own territory. There's a mistake from the set piece from the USA.
Tied up by Jordan Lay. Faleali'i goes in, has a look up, and then he gets it out to Ioane. He gives it to Big Amosa.
Away, White.
Afeisatiti Amosa
Well, if you wrap yourself off the
takes
ball,
it
you
to the
can't get
ground.
it
They
away,
haven't
it's your
rolled
own
away. McGinty, he hung around too long, and I think that the Samoans will look for the post here
You take the consequences.
and look to try and draw level. No points in the second half, but here's McGinty. Well, he's lying all over him like a cheap suit. Got to roll away and make an effort. Not too many first fives in the world game that like to get in and do the rough stuff, and he's one of them. Geez, I thought they might have taken the points there.
Numbers 1 and
Yeah, I mean, 15 minutes into the second half, really no points since the halftime break. So Samoa have obviously got a bigger plan.
Boys, please.
And white 1.
Elia's a good throw of the ball.
USA 1 and 3, please.
Some changes
They're
here
gone, are they?
as well. Mulipola comes on for Samoa. They've made some changes, and Lamb comes in for Stowers. There is Mulipola immediately into action with the line-out call. Beautifully taken. Just plucked it out of the air, basketball-like.
Lost in there, Blue.
But they've lost it forward. Yes, it was Paulo. Teofilo Paulo. He has got some lovely skills.
Let's go.
Mark is there, lads. Yeah, scrums have been good now, so keep a standard, please. Just back a little bit. Yeah. Good? Good? Why is it the two boys on before you were good, so keep a standard, please, okay?
Here we go, Davey.
Same here.
Couple of new
Standard good. Shoulders out, please.
props in there for the USA.
Crouch.
Nu'u for Dongluski.
Yeah.
Bind.
Nu'u and Eddie Ryan.
Set. Hold it there.
Healthy. Healthy.
David Ainu out of the Toulouse club, so he's had some experience in the UK. He would have been going backwards. Wouldn't be too happy with that as an introduction to your scrum.
No, that's not the impact they were sent out there to make, Willie. There's no doubt about that. So they'll look to make some adjustments. They'll have a little chat about that.
Samoans had a penalty and a chance to draw level. They opted for the line out and knocked the ball on, and now they're still inside the red zone, just outside it rather.
Quite a while. They need to put it a bit quicker. I'm going to tell their 9 the same thing, okay?
Another short line out here from the Samoans. Amosa is in there, the two big locks, and Polo and Toliafoa. Mulipola at the front of the line out. They throw it to nobody. Faleali'i tidies it up and gives it to Leua. He charges forward. Sloppy period of play there from the line out, but it's Fonatia who muscles forward. Again, they crab across, and again, it's Lelo out of the Cardiff Blues. Now back with Samoa. Ioane, the back ball to Fonatia again. Breaks the first tackle, brought down by Ainuu. Ioane to Amosa. Nice tackle from Lambourne, got to his feet as well. Faleali'i, nothing really happening here. After 6 phases, the Samoans have gone across the field in a net gain of about a metre. Ioane. Americans don't send in any players to that ruck. Elia. Mulipola drops the shoulder and now gets some momentum. Strong charge from the loose head prop to get them up and over the advantage line. Tuala comes in and plays first receiver. Now they get it out to Taulangi off the pass from Lelo. Good read. And the tackle had to be made. Forcing the error from Faleali'i.
Yeah, that's a big play, important play too. Samoans were just winding up. Got that
The
feeling.
ball was touched by White in the tackles, who is not offside playing the ball.
Taulangi there into the contact. Clean out was good from Samoa. Faleali'i just had a little look and gave time for the defence to get through, put a hand on him.
You believe that's their captain and right winger Blaine Scully, the 31-year-old. He's been to 2 Rugby World Cups in 2011, 2015, 48th cap, and he was the man with the headband that came in to make the hit. You don't see too many wingers wearing headbands in the modern game, do you? He's bringing it back.
Props this side need to stay square.
On retro on it.
So both you two need to stay square, okay?
Be wearing leg warmers next, Willie. Got all Olivia Newton-John on it, but did a good job for his side there. The Samoans were building pressure.
There's Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, okay, but
Don't pretend you're younger than me.
just wait a minute, I need to speak. You just reminded me, you two, come here.
So,
The
yeah.
scrums are down. And the stationary for quite a long
scrum
time
chatty's
before the
been
ball
threatening
comes
to have
in
for a
with him.
while
So
here.
once the scrum is stationary, then that ball needs to come in without delay. Is that fair enough? Okay, good. Okay, lads, let's go then, please. Keep it stationary and then the ball will come in.
There's been a real change in this area of the game since the replacement players were on, albeit
Okay
that
then, boys, let's go then.
James Lay's still there from the start for Samoa, but
Start here, then you can go back then.
will be
Shoulders.
pull up.
Time on, yeah.
Made
Crouch.
a big difference.
Bind. Set. Hold it there, lads. In. Good, that's better.
That's a massive scrum. They still keep it. Scully gets the right foot to it, but it's not his finest moment. And has gone out on the full, but put it down to the pressure that the Samoans are putting on the American scrum.
Yeah, Molly Paula in particular, Willie, just getting the angle on his opposite, Paddy Ryan, and just really putting him to the sword.
Go, please. 2 meters.
Oh, they've won the ball. They've just had trouble in executing from that play. They've knocked it on a couple of times. They've thrown the ball back to no halfback. And on that occasion, it's James Lay who wins it down the back of the line out. They pick and go through Ioane through the middle. Faleali'i comes back to play halfback. Mulipola and the tackle of Peterson. Straightening the line and running straight into the big frame of Paddy Ryan. Spins and turns a little bit more, and now they pick and go again. It's Lelo who's coming in looking for some work. Faleali'i throws the dummy and then he gets it out wide. They've got numbers here. Have the Samoans. Elia. Tuala goes in to help. Lambourne can't get his hands on it. Faleali'i goes across two of the players to the hands of Toliafoa. They go the same way and it's dropped. Amosa has dropped it cold.
Went down and forward.
That's a disappointing end to a promising movement.
Yeah, very disappointing, but both sides been guilty of it throughout this match. Just losing the ball at a crucial time. They were building nicely there.
Can we watch they're still not part of the breakdown reaching out? The last two I've seen, they were the last man, so they looked okay to me.
They're falling into a post, long post.
Yeah, I've penalised him earlier and I'll keep an eye on him, don't worry.
I'm not complaining.
Huh?
I'm not complaining. He tried to go square.
I'm not complaining.
Standing on his side.
Okay, I'll come around that side now, okay? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure you want him to do that.
Yeah, no, actually, it's white.
He is
Side, angle.
Okay,
dominating.
I'll come around that side now, okay.
Molly Puller.
You make
He
sure
goes off to the referee and has this
the last
conversation. I'm
twice you've done
not
it,
complaining.
it
You
looks
shouldn't
okay
be
to me, but
complaining.
just
You're doing a
ensure
good
when
job.
you pick up in that ruck or tackle that you are the last man, okay? And you go 1 foot over the ball at least, okay? Last two were okay, but just make sure.
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
10.
Because you see a lot of players pick the ball up from a
you
ruck
fell the wrong side there,
and
but you were
charge through
gone,
where
so
there's
not a
no
problem.
defenders. They've
Just
done it on
be
2
careful the way you
occasions, and
fall,
that's what
okay?
Nigel Owens is referring to.
No, we're outside, boys.
Ioane did it on 1 occasion, Lelo on the other, and there is David
Just lost on.
Onu'u.
Yeah, let's go.
Out of 2 loose in his 7th cap
It's outside, boys.
for the American Eagles. He is finding it tough in that front row
Time on.
this afternoon. Real baptism of fire. Him up against James Lake. And on the other side, it's Mulipola
Time on.
up against Paddy Ryan.
Bind.
Big Paddy is getting a lesson on scrummaging here.
Hold it there. No, we're not.
That's what he's talking about, him angling in.
We're not stationary going in. We're not stationary going in. And get the heads off the shoulders, please. And I want you a better angle as well. Okay?
I
Keep
couldn't
straight,
figure
yeah,
out
good.
from the conversation,
And
well,
you?
not that I ever
Straighten
profess
up
to
a
know
bit.
too much about the front row, but I thought the angle for the loose head prop is what they're looking for. Puller
Yeah, just to stay square.
appealing that
And
he's
Leo, make
trying
sure
to
you
get
stay
straighter
straight.
and he's not been allowed to do it.
Crouch.
Oh, he's up against big Paddy Ryan from the Rugby United New York club. He's gone to ground and it's going to be penalised.
Knees to the ground.
There you go, knee to the ground. They tap and go. Faliali'i wanting to play the game at pace now. Ioane runs into the shoulder of Lasika. Taliafoa getting the ball and they're standing still. They need to be moving on to the ball, the Samoans. Easy to defend against. From a standing start, he's done really well to beat the first. As Jack Lamb, great to see him back in the Manu Samoan colours, and a mistake from Teofilo Paulo. The line speed from the Americans is putting them under all sorts of pressure, and they're just having a little peep.
White 11,
Yeah,
sub, please.
that's exactly what's happening, Willie. And they were
The last scrum, you just drop your knee to the ground. That was the first offence.
made some adjustment,
Knee
found
straight
some
to the ground.
solutions to the pressure that's been applied from the rush defence. We saw them, they talked about that pick and go from the middle of the breakdown,
Simple as that, really.
turned a
Knee
couple
went
of
straight to
balls
the
in.
ground. So he needs to keep his knee up. And if he does that, then I can deal with any issues here.
occasion,
But that was the first offence.
They're able to cope with the pressure. Rush defence, it's a very
Yes, and I will
effective
deal with that, but the first
system when
offence,
it
he
works,
drops
when
his
it's
knee to the ground.
executed well.
Okay?
And USA doing a very good job of that at the moment.
Okay, thanks.
29-year-old Nate Augsburger in his 23rd cap comes onto the field.
White ball.
Can play halfback or wing out of the San Diego Legion club.
Keep straight. Knees up off the ground.
He's got a major in sociology at the University of Minnesota as the right winger on for Team USA. What does that mean?
Keep the pressure off, please, boys. Pressure off.
Nothing from you? No response?
Crouch.
Fascinated at this forward battle, Willie. I'm all wrapped up in it.
Set. Hold it there.
Better hit from the USA, but straight to ground. And this time they win the penalty.
That was you. Hinging and pulling down. He was fine. That was you.
Oh, that's a
Hinging and
byproduct.
pulling
They
down.
won the contest at the contact, the USA on that occasion.
I think he might be regretting asking the referee to come around to his side of the scrum too.
You watch the contact, they go forward, see that, couple of little steps to readjust, make the adjustment, then down she goes, and Nigel Owen, no hesitation.
I thought there was rule 101, you never ask the referee to come to your side of the scrum.
Step through.
Modern day rugby players different in their communication. Leah gets it back. Ioane has to tidy it up. Does the open side flanker, and he's done a good job of doing just that. 26 gone in the second half. No score since the half time, and now Faliali'i goes to the year. Leua charges, but it's the captain Scully. Now the kick from Dihas goes straight into the hands of
Blue stay.
Faliali'i. That's not a great kick, but Scully's won it again. Jeez, he loves that aerial contest. Does the American captain. Play goes out the way of Ryan. Again to the left, and it's McGinty, the dummy, through the gap, the offload. Dihas is there. Scored a try last week. Gets into the red zone. He's lost the ball.
Advantage.
He has dropped it cold.
No advantage.
Oh,
Lost on,
becoming a
on the
pattern
floor.
now.
White 9.
Frustration for Dihas, having a great game, the halfback. But neither side will he seemingly able to control the ball. When they start stacking up the phases, great ball to Dihas, and they're just in the contact with the ground, coughing up possession and losing that momentum.
Inside, lads. Yeah, inside. The pressure off him, please. Shoulders out.
Samoa still in the bonus point
There's 32
range of being
playing
within
time gone,
7.
so you got 8 on injury.
And if they were to
Still
lose,
got
they've
14
turned down a
and half
couple of
altogether.
opportunities to kick points in the second half.
Time out. Wait, you ready? Get the shoulder out. Keep it out. Time out. Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold it there. It's better. Keep it there, lads. In 9. In. Keep it there. Stay bound. It's better. Good.
Solid scrum and a nice exit play from the Samoans here. I love the attitude of the Americans and turnovers or their opportunity to attack. We've seen it in the past where they'd normally kick possession away. They kicked a lot of possession away in the past, but I think under the guidance of Gary Gold, it's more about ball in hand, playing to their strengths.
Yeah, it certainly is, and they've got a very good reader of the game as well, Willie, so he takes good options. Now the driving maul here for the Americans.
Quill has it under control at the back, and now Pinkelman comes and adds his 104 Ks, but they've splintered, and Amosa has come through the middle. De Haas gets it out of there now. Lasika, he gets it over the advantage line. McGinty, the crossfield kick pass. The bounce is good, but unfortunately it's gone into touch.
Yeah, the first bounce was good in that it kept the ball in play. The second, not as favourable. Well, the player out wide for the USA. Again, just showing good variation, good options.
One from each side.
Osberger was the chasing player. Just didn't sit for him.
30, coming up to 34 running time gone, so you've got 6 on injury.
So Ben Landry in his 20th cap scored a try last week for his team against the Canadians. A couple of players down now, just getting some attention, and referee's just checking the time. He says there's 6 minutes to play.
For white.
What's that? The sole judge of time. Referee, so if he says 6 minutes, Willie, then Samoa need to get a wriggle on.
Well, they do.
The wrong end of the field, and they've spent the vast majority of this second half at the wrong end of the field. Landry gets to his feet, shakes it off. No, I think he's going to go. He's had a good game.
And 6.
Well,
Six
both of them.
playing time, 6 injury time. Is that correct?
Injury.
Okay, 12. Okay.
Gets through more than his fair share of work, and the tight stuff does Landry. Be happy with his
Time on.
74 minutes of effort. 74 minutes, Nigel Owen time, by the way.
Well, yeah, his time. Taliafoa wins the lineouts. Samoans are asking because they really do need to get a shake on here. They've got 70 metres to go. Elia has it. Now they're going to get a penalty here with someone coming in the side of this. There you go. You heard it from the referee. The assistant referee gave him the call first.
No advantage, 19 white on the side. Yes?
That's the one, boys. That's the one.
Okay, now they need some good meters here, Samoa. Give themselves good field position. And
19 white from the side is the call.
just a few minutes now. Put themselves in a winning position here, Samoa. Kick not as good as it could have been, but it's out.
Nate Brackley, the 29-year-old, in his 20th cap, giving away the penalty for the Americans. Made his debut against Samoa in 2016. There he is with the headband and jersey 19. Plays at the Rugby United, New York.
I think I would have liked to have played there, Willie.
Same.
Great city, New York, and great place to be playing code.
Taliafoa gets it to Falia. It's never too late, Richard. You can make a comeback. Still time. They hold him up. It's great from Quill. Eventually he gets to ground, and now Falia looks for his first 5. Finds Henry Tofu out of the Queensland Reds, who's done really well to get over the advantage line. They run across the field. Falia gets the ball up, and it's Lambourne who secures it for the Americans. Now he's got to let it go. There's a penalty. They might take the shot here on this occasion. The Samoans keep the boots on the ground, son.
He's gone that side. First man is clearly on his feet here.
He can't get it back to the time.
Wow, this is costly. That is a big, that's a big 10 metres. Tony Lambourne. And they are going to take the penalty and the shot to try and draw level. I didn't think that he said anything unkind to referee.
I don't think, to be fair to Lambourne, I'm not sure he was the one that got marched, but
You've got
certainly
three,
involved here.
Sorry, 2.5 and 6 injuries.
That's him,
so
the
just
player
over
on the
half.
ground.
Yeah.
As you say, Willie, that's 10 unnecessary metres, and that's just, well, they would have thought about the penalty, and that would have just cemented the decision, no doubt about it. They lock it up, Samoa, and then they've still got minutes to chase the win.
Well, they asked how much time, and the referee says 8.5 minutes. And is what he's claimed. He says there's a certain amount and then injury time, which would take it to 8 minutes, and now big moment here to draw level. It was 10-7 at halftime. You can hear through the referee and also our wonderful microphones around the field the conversation being had by the Americans. Tofu from the Queensland Red says yes. We're all tied up. 8 minutes to play. And the three-time champions finally take the right option.
You've got to, right? Behind the line, we'll see it behind you.
Plenty of endeavour from both teams. Faliali'i
He's on.
took it in his own 22. He has every right to kick it out on the full, and he drives play back towards the halfway. He's been good since he's come on, taking good options.
Indeed. That's a great clearance back to halfway. So now pressure goes on. Here, USA now. We get the execution here. Bang on, replacement player to throw, force it.
They do well because they initially win it through Peterson, and then he taps it down to Ionu'u. It comes back to clear it now. De Haas gets it out to Ryan. Paddy Ryan.
Hughes! Out the way, 3.
Counter ruck. Looked okay. Challenge in the air.
Advantage, knock on.
Blaine
right.
Scully, the captain, couldn't handle it, and now Samoa through Tuwala. They really just need to throw everything at it here, Samoa. They've got the players and the skill levels to certainly score a try from this position. Elia.
Move, White, move!
To the 10-metre line, still inside their own half.
Okay, advantage is over from the knock-on.
Faliali'i
Advantage is
is
over
going to
from
kick.
the knock-on. Stay back.
Leua watches the ball bounce, and then it's Scully who goes up, and he gets hammered by Leua. Counter ruck was good initially, but it's still on the side of the Americans. De Haas gets it out of there.
Away, Blue! Hughes!
He'll kick. Good field position.
Blue, stay!
Tofu puts it up. Chasing forward is Tuwala. Call for
No,
the
Marcus,
mark
all good.
does Ruben De Haas. 13th cap. Real impact from the bench
Come on,
type
boys.
of player, but he got the start in this game. And he has really put in some nice kicks as he drives play up towards the halfway.
It's a nice little combination there. Ruben De Haas and AJ McGinty. De Haas, you imagine, Willie, on the basis of today's
Right off the
performance,
line,
will
please, boys.
many more than 4 starts in that 9 jersey. He's had a very good game.
Again, they rise high and they bring the ball down. It's gone over
Backwards.
the head into the hands of Lay. It's gone backwards. One of the Americans lying all over it. And there's the penalty.
Told you let it go. They've won the ball. Yes! On his feet, 7.
Which one? Me. His knee was on the floor. On the right knee.
No, he was on his feet first of all, and then he won the ball, and then your player comes in.
John Quill, the man
Three, didn't
born in
release the ball
Cork
immediately.
Island,
Holding on.
and his 35th cap gets the reward.
I said leave the ball.
Another one from the Rugby United New York club. And the Americans look to try and make them pay. McGinty drives it 7 short. Really, the error came from the mistake right at the start here, not taking the ball. Lamb couldn't get his hands on the ball. James Lay did his best to try and hold on to possession, and now Team USA. Real opportunity here. Fawcett with the throw. Lamborn is used, and he gets up, and now Fawcett gets in behind. They've got a lot of players in front of him that are going forward. Look at the work from Lamborn, who's just encouraging them. The backs have come to join in. Campbell and Lasika is there. It stopped. They've turned, and now they go through the middle. Samoa will look, just try and hold him up. Fights and gets to the ground. Fawcett, and that is a maul. Samoa take a bow.
Oh, big moment here. Oh, the US were doing so good for 99% of that. And then at the end, it just got fragmented. Samoan player couldn't see him, couldn't see who it was, came through, got his hands on the ball. It was always a maul, so as soon as it collapsed, they could just smother it. You see here, they're doing a good job here, the USA. They've got momentum. Just say some of the higher numbers got involved. And at this stage, it's looking very good for USA. Now it fragments, and player comes through, goes high. And then the Samoans get their hands on the ball, and the turnover comes.
Everybody involved. Faliali'i, the little halfback, instrumental. Jack Lamb is in there, a Mosa as well, putting his big frame into the battle, and now a defensive scrum.
Time on. Shoulders out, please. Wait a minute. And come around that side. Square it up.
Mosa's been strong out of the boot for Samoa, so we're looking to give them some immediate
bind.
Go forward.
Set. Yeah, no, wait.
Certainly no time for the stock standard exit play, Willie. It's got to be the ball and hand game. They've got to come, 95 metres here, Samoa.
So wait, go again. Time out.
We want to go after.
Time out. Give back a bit. Get back, boys. Step back, because you are closing the space. Stay there, please. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Don't lean forward. Keep the pressure off. Yeah, stay straight. Straight.
Seconds.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold it there.
Yes.
Time out.
That's up, fellas. That's us on top. That's on top. Stand up.
Come out. Yeah, everybody's at the front.
Whole new front row.
Right down. So don't blame anybody else.
There you
all
go.
of you are down. Time is out.
That's Elia, Mulipola and Sao up against Fawcett, Ainu'u and Ryan.
Stay where you are there. Stay back. Space. No head on the shoulder.
6 new players are always going to try and
Let's go.
get some sort of ascendancy from the referee here.
Rose.
They write their own laws in scrummaging too, don't they, the front rowers?
Crouch.
Let's go, Paddy.
Bind. Set. Hold it there.
The Americans put the squeeze on.
Ball is gone.
And Mosa had to pick and go. Faliali'i looks at where the options are. Nothing really on. It was Leua, actually. The winger coming in to play halfback.
Hughes. Stay back, boys.
This is Faliali'i. He'll kick. Look to kick, and then he put it back into the pocket. Good pressure coming from De Haas. There's only about 90 seconds left in this game. All tied up. It was 10-7 at the break. The try, penalty and conversion for the Americans to AJ McGinty. Try for Samoa happened in the first 5 minutes to Alapati Leua. And the balance of points have come from Alatimu with the conversion, and then Taifu with the penalty. Americans win it, and they won't mind going down Main Street here if they can. Fawcett has it in the back of the wall. They charge forward. De Haas gets it, gives it to his captain, Scully. Hardly mentioned him, the veteran of the American side, but now the Americans feeling confident. Across the field they go. It's Quill into the battle area. De Haas gets it a little wider, running from outside in, change of angle. is a good one. They've got players out here, the Americans. McGinty with the dummy. Pinkelman is there quickly. So is De Haas. Ryan brings in 3 defenders. Pick and go, you can hear them calling. Now it's the front rowers. Aianu'u. Samoa thought they had it. There's a penalty. What do you do?
Yeah, they always under advantage, the USA. So they know they knew they had that in the bag.
Correct.
And
18.
pulling down the maul is the call.
Last play.
And that's it full time, so there's only one option.
Give me exact mark here. Where I am, yeah?
Just so, yeah, mate, that's it.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scully's already pointed to the post. And so now it all falls on the young shoulders of the 29-year-old AJ McGinty. The Americans have never won this tournament in the 13 years
Here you are, look here.
of it being played. They haven't been involved every year as well, I must add. It's always Samoa, Tonga and Fiji, and then there is an invited 1, 2 or 3 teams. And the Americans best finish second in 2014.
Samoa, your 10 metres is your try line, please. Lads.
Can they go one
the
better?
The original mark is there, so try line. Stay on the try line. The mark was just 10 metres out, so just in front of the try line. Good.
Matters
Last
debut for the Americans in San Jose in 2015 against the Samoans. And is he about to give them their first taste of defeat in 2019? He's kicked it to the right of the post. They've given it, yes. AJ McGinty makes rugby great again in America. Oh, I thought he had missed that. Well, obviously from the angle that we had, but the touch judges or assistant referees made no mistake. The flags went up and Team America have beaten Samoa. They are now unbeaten after 2 weeks with a scoreline of 13-10.
Yeah, good contest. It was always going to come down to the wire. And the Samoans will look back on that and they'll say, well, we did all the good work in the first half, we turned in the second half, didn't really take or use the conditions to our advantage, played most of the game in the wrong part of the field in the USA. They hung on, and when the opportunity came, scored the only points of the second half, and that win off the back of some very, very good defence.
Well, it's never easy to respond to the media, and so let's go inside the Samoan camp and get some reaction from their captain, Piulu Faisalele.
Piola, what a tough game it was against USA. So what positives and how will you assess today's game?
Ma talosanga o tamama tina ro tato tunu o tapoinga tato au le whanau nei. Yeah, I think credit to USA and some self errors there. I think we can just improve a bit more, and we're still building in our building phase, and still working towards our campaign towards PNC and World Cup.
Thank you very much, and all the best for next week.
Thank you.
Well, he looks like he's injured the shoulder there, obviously, Richard. It's never easy, but I love the fact that they say something in their native language, obviously, firstly, to their supporters, fans. And now let's hear from the USA captain, Blaine Scully. He'll be thrilled.
Blaine, congratulations for the win. You left it to the last minute. How does it feel getting back-to-back wins?
I mean, it was a really tight contest, and I'm not sure either either team deserved to lose that. It was an 80-minute arm wrestle, and we were real grateful to the Samoans for the competition. They're an excellent team with a lot of excellent rugby players, and we'll take a lot of lessons out of this match and hopefully learn from for next week.
Thank you very much, and all the best for next week.
Thank you.
Short and sweet, as we like to say in the business, and he will be thrilled, and he's right as well, Richard Turner. It really was an arm wrestle. It could have gone either way.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that, Willie, and very gracious of him to say neither side deserved to lose, but I think on the basis of overall performance, time and possession, better use of the ball, better decisions, the USA deserved that win. Look at that, played the game for the majority of this 80 minutes, Willie, in the right part of the field, 62% territory. Samoans, well, they had more than their fair share of possession, but look at that, time in opposition 22, they spent almost 10 minutes camped in the Samoan 22. So on that basis, Willie, they deserve the win.
Let's listen to the Samoan coach, Steve Jackson. He's now sidelined.
The coach of the Manu Samoa team, what a tough game it was. In the end, it was decided on the penalty. So what positives have you taken out from this match, and is Samoa on track for the Rugby World Cup?
Yeah, look, we wind back the clock. When we played them last year, we were beaten on full time with a penalty as well. So, I think one of the things that we'll get out of this game is, we've given everyone an opportunity. And it's good to see how we fight back from situations, and that was the whole idea of these first couple of games and the PNC really, to see these players get an opportunity and push for Rugby World Cup. And look, there were some areas of the game that I was happy with, but we can't afford to make that many mistakes in the game and not capitalise on the pressure that we had. It's good learnings for our players though.
So what sort of improvements are you looking at before you take on Fiji next week?
Yeah, look, we're just our decision making and in the right areas of the field. Our game drivers need to put us in the right places of the field to keep our guys moving forward. So we'll work on that. But we're disappointed. We didn't come out here to lose. So there's some pretty sad boys in the change room.
Thank you, Steve, and all the best for next week.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Former North Harbour coach and also the assistant coach to the Blues is Steve Jackson, and no doubt when you look at the American side, the way they have played the game, they are such a different team to as we've seen in the past, where they kick away a lot of possession, and a lot of that is down to the class of the players, but also their coach, who's done a magnificent job. His name is Gary Gold, and he is not too far away from talking to us.
Gary Gold, congratulations for the win. How tough was this match?
It was a very tough match. I thought Samoa were very good today. They put us under a huge amount of pressure. I thought, we had a couple of opportunities in the first half to maybe score some points, but their defence was too good. And I thought that turning at 10-7 was quite tight for us. But credit to our boys, we defended very, very well against a very good Samoan team in the second half.
Back-to-back wins for USA. So do you think USA is on track for the Rugby World Cup?
We still got a lot of work to do. It's always nice to win, but I think there's a lot of improvement today. As I said earlier, I think Samoa put us under a lot of pressure. Our set piece didn't function as well as I would have liked it to have functioned, and our attack as well. We want to hold on to the ball, but the conditions were very difficult, and very well done to Samoa for the amount of pressure they put us under. But we've got a long way to go before we get to Rugby World Cup.
Thank you very much, and wish you all the best for next week.
Thank you, and thank you to all the amazing Fiji fans who came out to support us. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
He's a class act, is Gary Gold, and so is the crowd here in Suva. They love their rugby, Richard. They love winners, and they can't wait for their Fijians to come out. But just on that, good points from Gary Gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Did right. I'd be happy that, they were put under a lot of pressure and how they dealt with it. And both he and the skipper mentioned the defence. Well, it was the Samoans that broke that defence early, and it was a lovely play from Patileua to get across the line early, and they were looking good at this stage, Samoa, but it was a dominant first half performance from the US in terms of territory and possession. And finally, the outstanding individual for me, AJ McGinty, saw the opportunity to the left of the breakdown, had players outside him, didn't need them, did the job himself, and through the second half there, some opportunities. Well, they'll look back, both teams, I think, Willie will look back, and Roo lost opportunities. This is a big one for the USA. And then Samoa late in the half had the opportunity, penalty, 3 points, and it was all tied up, and as they did for most of the game. Right part of the field at the right time, USA, and they went to work at the breakdown. Came close, got held up, but were under advantage, and here it is, the man of the moment. The winning penalty, and a repeat of 2018 for Samoa, being beaten by the USA right on full time.